To the next talk, Dr. Parul Chawla, are you ready with your presentation? So as she sets up the talk in femtosecond laser, very nice talk, Dr. Deepa, but some of these complications, as you said, soft cataract, it can happen even with a non-femto. And even with a femto, if you have your settings of the phaco parameters right, then usually we don't, have these complications. So you can go back and just check on that.
Good morning all. I would like to thank AIOS organizers as well as the chairpersons, conveners and moderators of this session for giving me this opportunity. So I'll be speaking on enhanced monofocal IOLs, finding the balance. So this is a slide I took from ESCRS 2024 by Dr. Shiraz Dea, and he said that the range of focus is divided into 4 types. There are high performance lenses of 4 types, that is monofocal, monofocal plus, increased range of focus and full range of focus. So monofocal are the routine normal monofocal lenses. Monofocal plus include the enhanced monofocals like the Hoya Impress or the Isopure. And the increased range of focus include IOLs like Vivity, and the full range of focus include IOLs like Panoptix or Geometric. So IOLs with EDOF characteristics, they can be pure EDOF IOLs, which can be spherical aberration based, or IOLs using the pinhole effect, or they can be hybrid multifocal IOLs with EDOF characteristics like the Techno Symphony or the Lucidus or the Synergy. So what is depth of focus? So these IOLs which I'm speaking about today, that is the enhanced monofocal IOLs, they don't follow the ANSI criteria. That is why they are not the EDOF proper lenses. They are not categorized as EDOF lenses. They are just the increased range of focus lenses. So what is the ANSI criteria? It describes the depth of focus as the dioptric power from the best peak of vision up to the defocus point for which the visual acuity is 0.2 logmar. So what are the clinical endpoints? Monocular depth of focus at 0.2 logmar should be at least 0.5 diopter greater than the monofocal control. And there are other criteria also of the ANSI guidelines. So the extended depth of focus, the pure EDOF IOLs, they like the IC8 has a depth of focus of around 2 diopters. The Symphony or the AT Lara has around 1.75 to 2 diopters, and the Vivity has of 2 diopters. But what are the limitations of EDOF IOLs? They can be loss of light, they can be halos, glares due to the rings, they can be loss of contrast. So we come to the enhanced monofocal IOLs which don't have these characteristics majorly. So first is the Hoya Vivinex Impress, which has an asphericity of -0.18. It has a central optical element which creates variations in power that provides an extended range of focus. So it has a range of depth of focus or a range of focus of around 1.5 diopters. Then there is Eyehance by J&J, which has a negative asphericity of -0.27, which cancels the corneal asphericity of plus 0.27 exactly. And Isopure also has a similar asphericity. So the Vivinex Impress, it leaves behind a little bit of asphericity, so that that provides a range of focus. So I'll be coming to my surgery with an enhanced monofocal IOL. Increase the music. So this was a 73-year-old female with advanced enhancing just to show the audience that we must use a soft shell technique of first putting the dispersive viscoelastic include these enhanced monofocal IOLs. They give good functional intermediate vision. So the patients immediately, even on first post-operative day, they are able to read their mobile phones from a arm's length, and some amount of functional near vision. That is, they have a reduced near rad of about 1.5 diopters instead of the usual 2.5 to 3 diopters. And the modulation transfer function is almost similar. It is not exactly the same, but almost similar to that of a monofocal. There is no drop in distance visual acuity, no glare, no halos, and minimum compromise on the quality of vision and high patient satisfaction. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pavel. That was a lovely presentation. One of the advantages also over trifocals is in case you have retinal problems or other conditions which reduce contrast sensitivity, these lenses can be very well used. And with good micromonovision, you can give good near vision, functional near vision also. Any other inputs from the chairperson?
The only thing I would say is that this hardly requires any counseling. Unlike a trifocal lens, this hardly, you could switch over from a monofocal lens to one of these lenses. Your chair time doesn't increase by a second. And therefore you can comfortably give a person a very good quality of vision and also intermediate vision without the disadvantages of dysphotopsias and all. So I think the transition can be very smooth from a monofocal to an enhanced monofocal.
I think I agree with Dr. Naushad, and I don't even talk about mini monovision or titrating the power in the other eye, because straight away we have told the patient for near vision you need to wear glasses, 1.25, 1.5, whatever be it, varies from patient to patient, lens to lens. So essentially it's just intermediate and distance you are talking about, because visual needs of our patients are most often not near dependent. Their requirement for glasses is quite minimal. So the idea is to get excellent distance vision, fair intermediate vision, and reasonable near vision, and they are already primed to wear near vision, and it's just something extra. You give peanuts for paying peanuts.
Just one point like to these are modified monofocal lenses or enhanced monofocal lenses. 2 or 3 things are very important, You cannot directly, take 100% of people who are suitable for these lenses. A person who has corneal pathology, a patient who has undergone refractive procedures, you should always look the corneal profile there. If they have a lot of aberrations, these lenses are not good for those cases. A patient suffering from posterior segment pathologies, like people with advanced glaucoma where contrast is already poor, or patients with a macular degeneration, diabetic macular edema, surgeries. So you have to be careful before going for these lenses. Sometimes they can rebound back to you. In those cases, I think the simple monofocal lenses are very, very good, where you have no distortion of optics. So those things has to be looked into. Otherwise, for routine cases, this may be acceptable options as compared to the routine monofocal lenses. But normally we don't counsel them, patient coming, we are going to give you a good intermediate near vision. We just say this is a new monofocal lens. In that way, patient may not give you too much a problem. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I have a question. Which IOL would an ophthalmologist prefer if he is also, he or she
That is a question.
operate?
Yeah, that I think that ophthalmologist himself or herself should answer that.
Also you have to answer.
So there can be
But
the
you
difference.
should be happy.
Panels of
You should be very happy by the time you are going to get the surgery done, new lens will be there. Or maybe you may not require intraocular lenses by that time also.
So
don't
there can be
don't worry
difference.
about that.
Sir, what would be your preference if I may ask?
It depends on individual choice. Because as I said, in today's generation, your entire examination should have a good assessment of optics of your eye. That right from the cornea to your internal optics, that is the aberration profile. Then choose the lens accordingly. If my cornea has too much of asphericity, where I require a more negative asphericity to correct that, suppose I undergone refractive procedure before, I'll go for negative aspheric lenses there. So you have to profile that. You can't really go into that. I have asked this question to some of my retina colleagues, and I have to fear that if I put a multifocal in them, they'll have a difficulty doing indirect oculoscopy, because the light is so bright there. Sometimes they have glare coming through that also. But
Yeah.
I have found that the people get adapted so fast. So some of my retina colleagues, they don't complain also. They do everything procedure. So it depends on surgeon to surgeon and person to person. Any lens is suitable for an individual. But
You,
given
you
the
just
option-
you just skirted her question. She's asking you which lens you'll have.
No, if I'm there, maybe I'll go for a pure monofocal lens because that gives a best contrast possible in this earth. Because all other lenses are compromised in terms of contrast.
So I also agree with sir. There is no lens which is available which is 100%, which will give you guarantee of 100% independent from these spectacles. So it depends upon it depends on person to person. So still, the choice of these lens can be, as sir has said, the monofocal eye.
So I think like an ideal
Because it
husband, there is no ideal lens. So
No